Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark, they're all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Grand Maester Stitch, where we return to the Dusklands as House Darklyn with the Shadow King Stefan. In the last episode we expanded into Shoreham and Rayonet, so now we are just waiting for more prestige so we can swallow up a little bit more of these lands in and around the Blackwater before they get swallowed up by the great kingdoms of the Rock and the Stormlands or the Reach, who are all fighting over it. Rosby is slowly caving in on itself, which is good as we want to take those lands. Thank you yet again for all of the suggestions for house names. The two that I've gone with is we have now House Thuringan for Soutshorn with a blue kingfisher on orange, and then Rayonet we have House Green, which is two spears on a green background. Unfortunately I couldn't get the exact sigil that you asked for, so I do apologise for that, but this is the closest thing that we could get. And then for our flagship, which I just remembered I forgot to name, I have decided to go with the nice simple name of the Dusk. I just think it's really fitting, really nice and simple. So there we go. We will unpause. We're not currently at war. We do have that claim on Edgerton that we can press on Rosby at some point, but we're going to wait until we have that claim on Rosby itself first so that we can go for both at once. We're waiting to get our prestige up a little bit more so that we can get involved in trying to take a couple more of these lands. There is the Great Fork, Hayford, Stokeworth and Ronningford here. I think Hayford's already at war with the Lannisters. Yes, it is. So we're not going to be able to get Hayford, unfortunately, but we can go for Stokeworth instead. But we've just got to wait for that little bit of prestige first. Who are Stokeworth at war with? Okay, they're helping in the Hayford war. That's good. It's going to weaken them massively. So as soon as we've got our prestige, we can go straight for Stokeworth. I have noticed that my Uncle Ollander and my Uncle Durham are not on the best of terms. We try this every episode and it fails every time, Stefan. Why are we going for it again? A situation I hope to remedy. Okay, family first, and it's going to fail. My Uncle Durham refused my suggestion. There will be no reconciliation with Ollander Darklyn. Yes, we already know that. So, right, we need 50 prestige. So, is there anything we can do decision-wise to improve that? I don't think there is. I mean, we could hold a feast, but it's not going to make too much of a difference, not with the amount of money that we've got. We'll go for it though. It's one way of trying to get a little bit of prestige, so we'll hold a feast for our vassals. But yeah, we need to get the Rosby lands just so the Dusklands looks a bit nicer and the writing isn't going through the middle. We are going to go for all of Cracklaw at some point, but as no one's bordering that, we may as well try and get Stokeworth first before somebody else gets their hands on it. And then we can get Rosby and the Cracklaw lands. The best part about preparing for a feast is deciding what foodstuff to serve. I must purchase venison boar and duck spices, wine and ale, honey for the desserts and cheeses, and perhaps a swan or a peacock. We'll spend lavishly on food. Thankfully we didn't get fat for doing that, so that's good. Most of the preparations for the feast have been made. Now I only have to send out the invitations. I hereby invite you to the feast of King Stefan. Septon Ryger is no longer Septon for the Shadow King. In the Summer Islands, women dance in an alluring and exotic manner, and a troupe of such dancers is passing through Duskendale. Do you wish to hire these exotic dancers for your feast? They would provide a very appealing sight for the guest. No feast would be complete without them. The guests can manage without dancers. We lose prestige for that. So, of course, yes, we want to spend the gold and we'll have the dancers. Right, so our priest has died. We need a new priest. We've got Raymond of Duskendale. Let's get him to perform charity in Duskendale, even though that never seems to go well. As soon as we do that, they die. And we need a new bodyguard. Why have we got a Jogus Nycort here? No. Then again, you are a skilled fighter, so yeah, we'll have you as a bodyguard, even though it makes no sense and it's absolutely ridiculous. Right, we need 44 more prestige. The guests have finally arrived in the Dusklands. They have to be given bread and salt as is their guest right. All is now ready and the cooks have worked day and night preparing the food. Our stocks of pale ale have been replenished and the castle has never looked lovelier. Welcome to my feast. It is turning colder and colder. The people of Duskendale can no longer work the fields. Okay. As long as it doesn't affect our prestige. Some of my guests did not seem satisfied with the food, but I would never have expected one of them to have complained out loud. Sir Oscar said a lot of nasty stuff about the food and I couldn't help but feel irritated. Well, that's a shame. Two of your courtiers at the feast have brought a dispute before you to settle. The inheritance of some small property in Duskendale is unclear, and Oregon, Tawny, and Mega both claim it is theirs. It is left for you to settle who shall be declared the heir of this land. I am in favour of Oregon. Oregon gains 50 gold. Does either improve our prestige? No. So who we got? Oregon, Tawny, and Mega That's his wife. So we'll go with Oregon. You committed much gold to this extravagant feast. In particular, the guests were impressed with the large centerpiece on the dais table. It represented a green lawn surrounded by large peacocks' feathers, green branches to which were tied violets and other sweet-smelling flowers. In the middle of this, a fortress was placed covered with silver. The fortress was hollowed and formed a sort of cage in which several live birds were shut up, their tufts and feet being gilt. On its tower, which was gilt, the banners of House Darklyn were placed. It was worth the coin, gained 30 prestige, perfect. We only need 11 prestige now to go for Stokeworth. The last of the guests returned home and everyone agreed it was this year's finest feast. We gained 2 diplomacy and vassal opinion improved by 5. Perfect. So that puts our diplomacy, once we skip a bit of time, that should go up to 18 now. Perfect. Oh no, is Stokeworth under attack from the Stormlands? Yes. Defending against Storm King Torgold in the Stormland. Oh, so we're going to lose Stokeworth to the Stormlands, unfortunately. The Great Fork, are you at war? In a slave raid and helping out Hayford. So we could still get the Great Fort, but it's on the opposite side of the river. That's why I didn't really want to go for it. We could go for Ataranta as well, which is on the opposite side of the river. So we could go for both of those, which are touching each other. I'm still trying to get that claim on Rosbeth. I really hope that someone doesn't beat us to Rosbeth. Oh, it's a new lord in Rosby as well now, which is good, which gives us a good chance of going to war for it again. So I think we'll go for the Great Fort next and then Ataranta afterwards. We'll cross over the river slightly just because I want to get something in this land grab before it gets grabbed by everybody else like it is doing at present. Right, we only need a couple more prestige. One more prestige, which will pop up any second. Go on. There we go. 252. Right, what's the better one, actually? I ran to 3 provinces. Great Fork. Wow, Great Fork's a lot better. Declare war. Force vassalization of Great Fork. Send. Let's call up our military. What are you doing here? Call up military that's not going to get hurt by that raid. Get everybody here. Can you meet up in Brindlewood? And everybody here meet up in Southhorn. Why are we leading the army in the most vulnerable position? We'll lead this army, if any, to keep ourselves safe. There we go. Let's get our army together. And then, oh, the army of the Great Fork's right there in front of us, and it's marching straight into our grasp. Perfect. Absolutely spot on. So, thankfully they're up here anyway, so we can trap them. And then, do you know what then? You guys here just march straight onto the Great Fork and get it under siege. Everybody else can meet up in Brindlewood, not Rollingford, and then we can crush the small army of the Great Fort. Don't forget to leave your suggestions to what we should call the House of the Great Fort. Your Grace, we've received word from Stokeworth. Lord Hugo has led in a coalition to defend them. Well, I don't know why, because they're being attacked by the Durandans. Your Grace, we've received word from Rosbeth. Okay, they're getting involved with their manpower of a couple of 100 men. Right, let's send 6,000 men there to the Antlers to crush that army. We don't even need the rest of the army, really, do we? We're going to crush this small remnant of a force, whilst the rest get the Great Fort straight under siege. It's going to be a very easy victory indeed. Right, once you've won that great victory, let's march straight onto the Great Fort and get it under siege. Your Grace, I write to you with bad news from Duskendale. My efforts to squeeze some extra taxes out of the population have been met with resistance, and the peasants are arming themselves. I fear we might have a revolt on our hands soon. Oh, great. People of Duskendale really like to complain, don't they? This random army of 200 men will just disband you. We don't need you. Let's get everyone down to the Great Fort, which isn't that well defended, which is good. So it's going to be an easy victory. That's good. We haven't had to use our allies either, which is good. We need to save them for more important wars. We are going to need to get our prestige up, though, so that we can go for Atlanta as quickly as possible. I nearly keep calling it Atlanta. Right, merge together. And should we assault just to get it out of the way? Yeah, let's just assault. Get it out of the way. We didn't lose too much manpower. 100% offer peace and force demands send. The Dusklands Great Fork vassalization war has ended. Shadow King Stefan of the Dusklands has won. Perfect. Right. Disband our military. There we go. Makes the Dusklands a little bit bigger. We need to take Rosbeth. That's what I want to take, just so the Dusklands looks nicer. But at least we've surrounded them. Is Hayford? How did Hayford win their war? Must have ended in a white peace. Interesting. So we could still take Hayford. We may have lost out on Stokeworth, but we could take Hayford. We haven't got the prestige for it, unfortunately. But I think I'd rather take Hayford than Ataranta. It's got, wow, it's got room for 2 more provinces. Yeah, so it is a better prospect, and I'd rather have the lands around here. So once we get that prestige up, then we'll go for Hayford, considering they've somehow managed to avoid being caught, which is awesome. I hope that we can get that claim on Rosby soon. Then we need to get the claim on Rollingford, and we can take all of Rosby in one go, which would be good. To all my subjects, the inheritance of the Trident has been thrown into question. And so a great council must be held to determine who shall inherit the kingdom, as all shall gather in the God's Fort, so we can vote for a sovereign. Who's that? Tulle. Yes. I wonder who will be... Does that mean that House Justman has died out? Yes, so House Tulle are the protectors at the moment. Interesting. I wonder how the Iron Islands... All the Iron Islands have expanded a little bit there. Have they done anything in the north? Did they lose a bit of land? I don't think they have. No. What about down south? Yes, they have lost a little bit of land here. They've lost the Bane Fort and the Crag. They still have everything down in the reach that they had, though. So it's interesting. I like to keep an eye on that, see how they get on. Right, we need that prestige for Hayford. Your Grace, I write on behalf of the bank to express the consternation of the actions of your bannerman Lord Raymond of Riverhold. They have failed to pay the due interest. We'll placate the envoy with smooth words. The Trident recently fell into a period of integrum, with a great council of nobles being called to determine the heir. Edmund Tully has been backed as the heir of the kingdom by his council and has been crowned as king. Interesting. Couple of things that have been built, which is perfect. Your Grace, I have for some time now been observing the poor performance of Lord Lionel, whose failures have become a burden on the entire realm. My supporters and I ask that you remove him from office at once and appoint me as to the council in his stead. Signed, Sir Benjicott of Wood Hollow. Who are you replacing? By declining, I upset a lot of people. By accepting, I don't. Who's Lord Lionel then? Let's have a look at positions. Lionel. No idea. Except then if it's going to make people happy. Oh, as an advisor. Oh yeah, that's fine. No worries there at all. And we need a new court physician. Our Maester has died. Let's send to the Citadel for a new Maester then. Your Grace, a Maester was sent from the Citadel. Let's have a look. Maester Yoren. He's not amazing, but he'll do. Good. Okay, so the Crabmen are at war with somebody. Who are you at war with? Oh, still in that slave raid. Aha, my liege, my work in Rosby seems to have come to fruition. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening, and forging documents, I've managed to fabricate a claim on the lordship of Rosby, presently held by Queen Melissa of Rosby. Use it, 53 gold, lose 150 prestige, which is going to hurt, but that's fine. Let's move our Master of Laws on then. Fabricate a claim on Rollingford. It's the last area of Rosby that we need to now gain control over. Is there anything we can do? We can hold another feast, which did gain us a lot of prestige. We've got the money to do so. So what else have we got, though, that could give us a little bit of prestige? Go on a foreign tour. You will decide where you wish to travel. Do you know what? Should we go on a foreign... Yeah, let's go on a foreign tour. Why not? Where do you wish to go on your tour? Show me more locations. The trade of the free cities entices me the most. Or there are most wondrous constructions in the Great Slate. Now, I don't want to go that far away. Let's just go to the free cities. Why not? How long do you wish to be on tour? A short visit of a few places will do. The tour should be a decent length. I wish to see all the world has to offer. You shall visit Volantis, Lice, Tyrosh, Mir, Pentos, Bravos, Lorath, Norvos, and Cohort. We're going to visit all 9 free cities. Yes, let's do it. 100 gold. And off we go to explore the world. I shall return a better man on a quest overseas. Shall I take my flagship, the Dusk, on this tour? She would surely improve our journey. Yes, I will captain her myself. Yes, of course, it will hopefully defend us better from pirates and such, a huge flagship like that. So let's follow along and see how our tour goes. Your wisdom and mercenary legendary, I've been appointed as your regent, our mother. That's fine. Hopefully we'll get a lot of prestige while we're on this tour. My upcoming quest may be a good opportunity to learn and advance my knowledge. Perhaps I should dedicate my time to a particular field of knowledge. I will learn foreign language. We become a linguist. I will draw maps. Okay. Or I will speak with people of different culture, become a traveller. What do we get from each of these? That one gives us 2 learning. That one gives us 1 diplomacy, 1 learning. Days of supply plus 25. Same trait opinion. Or a linguist. Monthly prestige. Diplomacy plus 2. Learning plus... Yeah, we'll go for that one. Learn another language. Get our diplomacy even better. I will learn a foreign language. Perfect. See how our foreign tour goes. It should be quite interesting. Hopefully our kingdom stays in a relative peace whilst we're away. Hopefully we can get a lot of prestige that we can then use to claim Hayford. Maybe at Ranter afterwards, but at least now we're only waiting for that claim on Rollingford for Rosby, so we could go for Hayford, and then we can press our claim on Rosby, or press our claim on Rosby first, whichever one comes first. After many days at sea, your flagship the Dusk, you have finally arrived at Old Volantis. You are very excited and cannot wait to explore these new lands and the Essosi Valyrian culture. Triarch Honeris Vasar shall be informed of your arrival. As I wandered through the streets, I overheard some local traders talking with each other about setting up a trade route to my homeland. It would be most beneficial to me if I could aid them in starting the trade route and take a cut of the profits. Interesting. I may be able to negotiate some good trade deals. 33% chance of you succeed in securing a good trade deal. 67% chance we fail. Well, we'll give it a go. The merchant gets frustrated, and while you don't understand the foreign phase used, you are sure it wasn't flattering. Needless to say, the deal failed. They wouldn't know a good offer if it hit them in the face. Lose 50 prestige. Oh shit, that's the last thing we needed. Your Grey Shadow King Stefan, Sweetpoint Sound is under attack from the Stormlands and is in need of aid. We implore you to join our coalition against our common enemy so that the mutual interest will be remain protected. Do I want to get involved in this? How strong is the Stormlands? 16,000 men. Do we really want Sweetpoint Sound getting captured? I would have liked to have took it, but I don't think we're going to have a good chance of doing so. It'd be nice if we could see who else. Let's just say we'll aid, and we'll see who else gets involved. Old Volantis. The captain calls out Volantis in sight. You marvel at the sheer size of the Volantine harbour as your flagship, the Dusk, berths at one of the wharfs. Whilst your captain ties off the ship, you pay for a palanquin and make your way to Fishmonger's Square. You see the merchant's house, and though you want to rest, you have an invitation from Triarch Honeris Vasar, so you hurry across the long bridge past the incredible Temple of the Lord of Light and approach the Black Wall. A guard stops you, barking in a foreign tongue. Unsure of what he said, you present him your invitation. He looks over it and calls out as the gate opens. Fascinating. You should depart for your next destination in a week. Storm King Torhold has had my aunt Ariane executed for my opposition against him in the war. Was this necessary? Not really. It is time for you to leave your current location and move on to your next destination. Time is short and there is also much of the world to see. Onward to Lys. I must cut my journey short and return home. No, onward to Lys. Let's see what we can do. Right, let's call up our army. Considering he's now just murdered our aunt, we will now get involved. Let's meet up in Duskendale. Let's call up our fleets as well. We've got a decent amount of ships there, actually. Let's get all of those down into Duskendale. It'd be good if we could just sail over and plonk our army on Sweetpoint Sound. That'd be really good. Who else is involved in this war? Just us. Oh, perfect. We're going to get our arses handed to us then by the Storm King. After many days at sea, your flagship the Dusk, you have finally arrived at Lys. You are very excited and cannot wait to explore these new lands and the Lyseni culture. Magister Valar Saphmantis shall be informed of your arrival. Whilst in Lys, I met a lovely woman called Jorella, a courtier of Magister Valar. We have both got along very well over a night of drinking, and there is a clear mutual attraction in the air. Do I dare pursue her and ask her if she wants to return home with me? Let's have a look. Worships the Red God, Merchant Republic, charitable, proud, honest, charismatic negotiator. We're not the kind of person to have an affair, to be honest, so I think not, and we gain 25 piety. Lys. You catch a hint of sweetness in the air as your flagship the Dusk sails up to the dock of Lys. The captain calls as you pass into the city. You walk past pillow houses where you are beckoned by the beautiful men and women there, their purple and blue eyes popping against the assenting makeup, and the silver gold hair styled uniquely to meet the taste of any visitor. You have an engagement with Magister Valar Saphmantis, and so tear towards the Magister's conclave. Along the way you pass the worship house of all the gods of the world, a few you've heard of before. You finally reach the conclave's gate. What an interesting place. The Stormlander Sweetpoint Sound vassalization war has ended. Lord Aegon of Sweetpoint Sound lost. Right, we didn't even get to call our armies together, so disband. Can we disband you guys yet? No, we can disband the fleets though. So that was a waste of time. A complete waste of time. We really need to get ourselves a second son, don't we? And get ourselves another heir. It is time for you to leave your current location and move on to your next destination. Time is short and there is also much to see in this world. Onward to Tyrosh. I thought we'd gain a little bit more from this tour. Your reports from Duskendale that his charity work on your behalf is proceeding well. The poor have been fed and your pious standing has improved. Perfect. Your Grace, I've collected an ample tax revenue in Duskendale. Perfect. 27 gold. Good, 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 good. After many days at sea on your flagship, the Dusk, you have finally arrived at Tyrosh. You are very excited and cannot wait to explore these new lands and the Tyroshi culture. Perfect. You pass along the walkway and happen upon a slave master beating one of his slaves for some minor error. I shall give him some gold, lose 15 gold. 25% chance of your host is annoyed at you for giving them gold. I care not for these people. Lose 30 piety. Gain 15 prestige though, so yes, we'll go for that. Keep out of it, we don't want to upset the Magister. My liege, my work in Rollingford seems to have come to fruition. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening and forging documents, I've managed to fabricate a claim on the lordship of Rollingford, presently held by Lord Michel of Rollingford. I'll leave it up to you. Yes, of course we're going to press it. I don't know if we actually have the thingy for the High Lordship, so let's go back and try and claim the High Lordship of Rosbear, or the Kingdom of Rosbear, but I think we'll be able to usurp it anyway, won't we? Tyrosh, your captain manages to get your flagship, the Dusk, to the walls of Tyrosh. Friendly, you hear someone yell from the Bleeding Tower as the captain docks. You head into the city and pass by a myriad of temples to one god or another. Finding the familiar insights of the Father, you enter and say prayer of thanks, then leave an offering before continuing towards the council house for your meeting with Archon Marmello Zokan. You see the masterwork crafts of the armorsmiths, no time, so you pass by the fountain of the drunken god to the black dragonstone walls and wait to be announced. How marvellous. Right, so we can now press a claim for the kingdom of... Wow, she's got grayscale, the queen. Right, declare war. Yep, press all claims, and we can't send, needs to be approved by your regent. Oh, really? Seriously? You've got a 100% opinion of us, so we're not going to be able to change your opinion, are we? So we're not going to be able to press that claim, which is annoying, until we come home, and we've still got a hell of a lot of free cities to visit. Fate smiles upon me. My wife Rael is pregnant. Excellent. Gain 5 prestige. Well, that's good news at least. It is time for you to leave your current location and move on to your next destination. Time is shorter, and there is also much to this world to see. Onwards to Mir. I thought we'd have gone Mir before Tyrosh. Lord Magister Koro Nzoko has been winning in the war against Prince someone, was so expecting good terms at the peace talks inherited by Prince Chinuba. However, the prince blah blah blah. That meant nothing for us. Why did we even need to know about that? At a meeting of your Regency Council, Oregon Tawny's position on the council was put under question. Your Master of Laws, Oliver Defoe, called a vote to have him removed, a vote which was passed. Oregon has been fired as a result. I hate when they start doing bollocks like this. So now we need a new Master at Arms. After many days at the sea on your flagship, the Dusk, you have finally arrived at Mir. You are very excited and cannot wait to explore the new lands and the Mirman culture. Right, so we need a new Master at Arms now, don't we? Which is annoying. Let's have a look. Who have we got as a potential Master at Arms? Oh, Sir Lomas Cole. Very, yes, definitely. We'll definitely go for you. And we'll get you to train troops in Duskendale. So annoying that I can't declare war on Rosbear. How many? 4 voters were for, 6 were against. Very annoying. Very, 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 very annoying. We'll save that for the next episode, though, as well as the rest of our foreign tour, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe. Please don't forget to leave some suggestions as well for our new Lords of the Great Fork, as well as when we take Hayford, hopefully. And I'll see you all very soon for the next episode.